Hello learners, in this lecture we will see why the bent up bars are given in the beams and why nowadays we don't follow this bent up bars and instead of bent up bar we provide the straight bar. So first we'll try to understand the theory of this. Yeah, so bent up bars are provided in the beams to take care of the shear force and the bending moment. We know that whenever we put up a beam, it is subject to a bending moment and also it is subject to the shear force, right? The second is that bent up bars are very efficient in taking the shear force. Whatever bent up bars we provide, they're actually very efficient in taking the shear force. Since the bending of a bar is not easy task and it consumes more time and difficult for the bar bender, we don't use the bent up bars in beams nowadays. That is, I'll show you the image of bent up bar. Okay, then you can appreciate this. Yeah, and next is that I'll show you. See, these are called as bent up bars. Okay, let me make use of pen. Yeah, why it is called, because this portion you can see, no, it is bent, no, this much is bent, so hence these are called as bent up bars. So according to the Indian standard IS 456-2000, the bent up bar can resist only 50% of the shear force and the remaining should be taken by the vertical stirrups. That means what it's trying to tell, let us say you have a shear force of 100 kilonewton. So if you have a shear force of 100 kilonewton, then only 50% of this, what is 50%, 50 kilonewton, will be taken by this bent up bar. You can see this bar, the bent up bar, this entire bar, what you can see, no, from here to here, this is my bent up bar. Only 50% of that shear force can be taken by this bent up bar and remaining 50 should be taken by this vertical stirrup. These are the stirrups, what you can see, right? So you can see this vertical line, these are called stirrups. So 50% has to be taken by them. And the last is that why we don't use this bent up bar nowadays is that the two reason. One is technically, from technical point of view. Second is from construction point of view. What is the, according to construction point of view, what is a problem? Since the bending of a bar is not easy. See, you, if you want to do a bend something like this, then you crank, I mean, what do you call, bend up something like this, you have to bend the bar in this. So if you have to bend a bar in this shape, then the bar bender will find it difficult to bend. See, if it is a small 12 diameter bar and all, you can bend it. Okay, even 12 diameter sometimes it's difficult. Then if you're going for 16 diameter, 20 diameter, then bending 16, 20 diameter bar is very difficult, right? So again, also the it's difficult for the bar bender. We don't use the bent up bar in the beams nowadays. Second is that from technical point of view, during the stress reversal, especially during the earthquake, the bent up bars will fail to resist the shear. That means, see, first we'll understand why this what is how the shear force acts. So whenever shear force come, no, they come in this 45-degree angle near the support. These are the cracks, what's going to happen. Okay, in this way near the support the cracks are going to form. So whenever these cracks are going to form, no, so who is resisting this? If the cracks is coming in this, you can see this bar is put in the inclined direction, no. So this bar is going to stop these cracks. Okay, this bar is going to stop these cracks. So that is okay. This is for gravity load. When the load is only gravity load, it's okay. During the earthquake, what will happen? Suppose if I try to draw one building here. Okay, I'll draw a small building here. Where shall I draw? Yeah, let me draw it here only. Let us say this is a small building what I'm trying to draw. Okay, this is one floor, that is second uh, floor and so on. Okay, so whenever an earthquake comes, the earthquake can come in two directions. One is earthquake in x direction. This is my earthquake in x direction, and earthquake can come even in this direction. This is earthquake in y direction. Similarly, earthquake can come from this direction as well. This is also earthquake in x direction, but let us say this is positive direction, it is going here, and this is negative direction. Similarly for the y also, this is positive direction, let us say, and this is negative direction. So actually what happens when the earth, if the earthquake is coming from this side, then the cracks are going to form in this way. But if the earthquake is going to come from this side, again the cracks are going to form in this way. In this way the cracks are going to form. If cracks are going to form in this direction, then this bar has been bent in this direction, then this bar will not be in a position to resist the shear, right? So that is the reason when it comes to earthquake point of view, there is a reversal of the stress. Reversal is that sometimes the earthquake can come in this direction and cracks can appear in this direction, and sometimes the earthquake can come in the opposite direction, that is from here the earthquake can come, then the cracks are going to form in this direction. So since there is a reversal of the stress, then what will happen, this bar will not be efficient. Whatever crank you are given, whatever bent you are given, no, this bent will not be sufficient to take care of the load. If cracks are coming from here, it's okay, but if it comes from this direction, then this bar will not be in a position to take care of that load. I'll erase everything. So that is the reason, due to the reversal of the stress, we don't use the application of the bent up bar nowadays. Okay, so as a result of that, what we are trying to do, we'll try to put a bar something like this. See, these are called as curtail bar. What we call this, these are called as curtail bar. So here what we are going to put, this bar what we have, no, this much length, that extra bar will provide here. Similarly, this bar what we have, that same bar we are going to provide it here. And now this bottom bar what we have, no, that bottom bar we are going to provide it here. Only this bend what we are supposed to provide, that we are not going to provide. Instead of that, whatever stirrups we are having, no, here, this vertical steps, we'll design our vertical step to take 100% of the shear force. 100% of the shear force. Here what we were doing, we were allowing the this bent up bar to take 50% of the shear force, and remaining 50% was taken by this vertical stirrups. But here what we are going to do, will, since we don't have any crank bar here, what will happen, will allow our vertical stirrup to take 100% of the shear force. So again from again from earthquake point of view, even during the reversal of the stress, this configuration what we have provided of a rebar is very good in resisting the shear force. Here it doesn't matter whether the cracks will form in this direction or cracks will form in this direction. Whatever stirrups I have, no, they are sufficient enough to take care of that shear forces when it happens, when it is occurred. Okay, that is the reason we try to go with the curtail bar and not with the bent up bar. So coming to the practical images of all these things, so this is how it looks. You can see these are actually bent in the 45-degree. Okay, I'll show you the practical image of this. Yeah, let me delete everything. Okay, it's the same explanation, whatever I explained, no, the same thing I put it here. You can see the cracks arising, no. So these are the cracks. So these cracks will be blocked by the crank bar as well as the vertical stirrups. But let us say the crack is coming in this direction. Let me delete everything. During the reversal of the stress, if the crack comes in this direction, then what will happen, only my vertical stirrups will be in a position to resist them, whereas this will not be in a position to resist that. Okay, so that is the reason we don't use crank bar nowadays. Yeah, you can see how the cracks are appearing in the beam, no. This is a test usually what we do in the labs and all. See, look at the way the cracks are appearing in this way, in a form of 45-degree the cracks are arising, right? In this way the cracks are arising. Hmm. Yeah, see, practically this is how we used to provide. These are called as crank bar. You crank the bar in this way and then you take it. Okay, but nowadays what we do, we provide bar something like this, that is curtailment bar. You can see this is top bar, this is bottom bar. Here you can see in the second layer the bar has been stopped only up to here. The two bars which have been stopped in this direction, we don't provide this crank nowadays. Okay, I'll show you one more image as of for that. See here as well, this only up to here, only up to here, and bottom will provide another extra bar in this direction. See, this is one, this is one, we have stopped it. Here also we have stopped it. Okay, so we don't provide the crank. Full bar only will provide in the bottom, that is called as curtailment bar. It's the same thing what I have put. Yeah, same thing on both side you have to do, both side, that is left and right. I'll show it once again. Since crank we were providing on both the side, here also will provide both the side. Like this is curtailment bar in this direction, similarly on this side also you have to provide in this direction. This is a half photo, that is why you cannot see it on the other side. Yeah, you can see, no, here also. Yeah, I'll do it here. I hope it's understood. Okay, yeah, see, crank here, I mean sorry, curtailment here, and similarly here also it will be a curtailment. Okay, and that remaining bar, extra bar, we have to provide only up to here, but here the contractor has provided it completely. You don't have to provide the bottom bar completely. You can stop it till here, and from here you can stop it till here. Okay, that's it. I hope these things are clear, and I'll show you the clause where it is written in the code book. It's written in the code book if you refer Indian Standard 456. When bent up bars are provided, their contribution towards the shear resistance shall not be more than half that of the total shear reinforcement. As I mentioned, if 100 kilonewton the shear force to be taken, so it's written their contribution. Whose contribution? Bent up bar. These are called as bent up bar contribution towards the shear resistance shall not be more than that of the shear reinforcement. So that is the reason we resist, will tell our bent up bar can take only 50% of the shear force, and remaining 50% of the shear force should be taken by the vertical stirrups. Okay, that's the practical importance of all those things. Yeah, so yeah, again it can be put at 45 degree. It is written here, not less than 45 degree you have to put it. And these are the formulas that if you want to see how much shear force is taken by your bent up bar, with the help of this formula we try to calculate how much angle and all. But since we now nowadays we don't use this bent up bar, the formula what we use for calculating the stirrups and all is, this is the formula for vertical stirrup. This was our vertical stirrup, right? For that we try to make use of this formula, and based on that we try to design all these things, right? Yeah. So I hope this basic understanding is clear. We'll see you back in the next lecture. Thank you.